Diablo IV Season 5 is underway, my friends. Now, we will go through a few things here on the season, and then we will basically talk about some of the mechanics. We'll talk about some of the new features, and then we'll kind of go through the Infernal Hordes, which is the new kind of the end game. So we have basically two end games that you can go through, and Infernal Hordes is the new one. So Diablo IV Season 5 overview. We're just going to kind of check out and go through Wowhead here really quick. Theme is Return to Hell. We're going from August 6th through October 8th. And the mechanic, we have Hellbreach dungeons, which are... they're like mini dungeons. They're kind of short. And then we have Mother's Reputation. If you remember from last season, we had a vendor and you were gaining reputation by doing the Hell Tides. And this season you can gain it from doing pretty much any activity. So world bosses, you can do it in Hell Tides, Nightmare Dungeons. Pretty much anything that has a stronger enemy type will give you some Mother's Reputation. You get Mother's Blessings. So this season features, we have Infernal Hordes, we have new uniques, legendaries, we have some farming changes, class balances. Not going to go through every single thing here, just kind of mentioning a few things. Tempering had a little bit of an update, some boss changes, some QOL, and some new accessibility features. So the uniques, we've added mythics, but let's talk about Infernal Hordes for now. So this game mode basically unlocks once you do the first capstone, you can go through and start doing Infernal Hordes. Now Infernal Hordes, it drops like a nightmare sigil, so you'll get a different type of sigil, and I'll show you later what that looks like. And you'll right click and it'll take you back down into hell, but you have to finish kind of the story season part before you can actually go down and get into this game mode. So it's basically level 1. The bosses will spawn after level 6. After each wave, you can pick a different, we'll call them, we have boons and we have negative affixes, right? We have banes and boons, right? If you want to call it that. So when you hit tab or your map key, you can see which banes and boons you have that are affecting your run. And these go all the way through level 8. You can upgrade these as you get further into the game, and we'll go over that as well. But each wave kind of has different bosses, different mechanics, and you'll see that as you go through, and we'll show you that. So you have 3 different choices. When you finish one, you can get gear, or you can get materials, or you can spend all of your ether on gold. So burning ether is what you want to collect from the enemies, and that is your currency, and you can spend that on the chest. And if you've done any of the mini dungeons in the game, you know that we're collecting ether in there, and you're basically gambling. So you can pick an affliction. It will give you more burning ether, but also makes the game a little bit harder. You can get some new legendaries and uniques from these, so it's well worth playing in the season. The Infernal Compasses can be found many places, right? Whisper Caches, Hell Tides, Nightmare Dungeons, Infernal Horde runs, etc., etc. So we have some new unique items that have come into the game. We've got a few other things that have been brought into the game as well. So Season 5 had some new uniques and legendaries. If we click on these, we can actually see which ones. We have Crown of Lucian, we have the Endurant Faith, Lokran's Talisman, which I've actually got, Rakanoth's Wake, and Shard of Verithiel. That is just for general uniques, right? So each class, Barbarian got some new uniques, the Druid got 2, Necromancer got 2, Rogue got 2, and the Sorcerer got 2. So each class. I'm running Rogue this season, so the Umber Crux is actually one that's going to help my build. So we'll be farming for that as well. And then Shroud of Condorus I've actually picked up. It's actually not too bad. It gives you a little, when you're casting Dark Shroud, it makes you immune for a second, and your evade cooldown goes up a little bit higher. So let's go back to the main page. And we've got some adjusting to tempering. I'm not going to go through that on this. This is mainly just talking about what's new and then also going through the Infernal Hordes. And then there's some links to builds here on Wowhead. It's always a good source for you to go check out things. Some of the bosses did have a little bit of changes. We won't go through those. World bosses are more resilient. In my playing so far, they've taken a little bit longer, but I think I did one at like level 60 the other day, and our team kind of melted it, so not a big deal. I've also gone through and done. I did capstone at 43, the first one, and the second capstone I did at 61, and that's a level 70. So the rogue is a bit tanky this season, and I'm not quite sure if that's been the way in the past because I haven't played rogue in a couple of seasons. So we have a few quality of life things and some accessibility features that have come out. So improved treasure goblin loot. I've gotten a couple of these. I can't really specify whether the loot was great. It was okay, but it didn't feel like it was great. Whisper bounties require less time to complete. This feels good right now. Going through these, especially if you're doing a Helltide. So if you want to double it up, I am going through these a bunch. I'm on level 4, I think, of the season pass, and you do need 20 to complete like one step, and so 20 whisper caches can be quite daunting. But the farm doesn't seem too bad. We've got increased mythic unique drop rates from non-boss enemies. That's really good. So if you're always boss farming, it kind of gets repetitive. Finding them out in the open and gambling and things like that is kind of nice. So you can see mythic uniques can drop from Helltide chests, purveyor curiosities, whisper caches from the Tree of Whispers. Helltide changes include Baneful Heart drop rate reduced. I have noticed this. I do not have as many Baneful Hearts, and I was farming that as much as I could. Out in the open, farming the boss was a great way to get the cinders and go complete a bunch of chests really quickly. I am always running out of Baneful Hearts now. So, and torture gifts no longer contain murmuring obols. I think this really sucks. I like to gamble a lot, and this is a great source of doing that. So having that taken away kind of sucks, and I don't like it. But let's see. Anything else super relevant? We have some journey rewards, which you can do and go through in the past by yourself, and some new cosmetic things that appear out there in the wild. So hats off to the cosmetic team. I always think they do a good job, and I have a really hard time not spending a ton of money in the shop every single time. So without further ado, I'd say let's check out some of the Infernal Hordes. We'll go through and show you how to activate one. We'll go through one of the levels and look at that, and then send you on your way, and you can go farm it yourself. It's a lot of fun. This season is probably by far my favorite, and yeah, I think everybody who's been playing would enjoy this one. If you like season 4, I think season 5 will be a great continuation for you and should be a lot of fun. So let's hop in. All right, friends, here we are. So we're going to open up the inventory and check out one of the Infernal Compasses. So if you go to your consumables tab and mouse over, you can see here is the Sacred Compass. And you'll right click on this just like a sigil, and it will take you straight to the Infernal Hordes. You're going to go down below into hell and slay. All right, so as mentioned, we're going to launch one of these from our inventory. So if we hit I, go to consumables. Now I can launch any of these because I moved back to tier 3. My character is actually in tier 4 right now, but we bumped it to tier 3 so we could use these Sacred Compasses. You have ancestral compasses that you can consume once you're in world tier 4. The monster level is 100 and I am only 64, so we are not quite there yet, friends. So just to burn one of these and to show you what it's like, we have 8 revives and the wave cap is 6. You get legendary items. Again, those cost 20 of the ether. So let's go ahead, we'll right click on that. It's going to open it up. You hit tab, takes you straight to the Infernal Hordes. It's over here in Kyrgyzstan if you need to really know where that is, but usually takes you directly there, and you'll fast travel. One of these seasonal portals is that one right there, and I think it's really cool. I like that. I've got on the wings that we got. I don't know if that was a pre-order. I think it was. So here you go. You land in the Abyssal Verge. You're basically down in hell, and the first thing you come across is an enemy. So once you take out this Desecrator, then the hordes will start popping up. So we'll go through here and just basically slay these guys. And they're at my level. I mean, they're 63, I'm 64, so kind of close. But since I've already done Capstone at level 70, I think my rogue is a little bit overpowered. So, still want to get out of the explodies. It's not very good for your health. So some of the, you see stronger enemies start popping up as any traditional horde mode type game would do, which is kind of fun. And then you get some of these really big boys here. And then once you get to the next level, you'll actually, so you need to be near the Soul Spire, just like in the little mini dungeons, and kill enemies in here, and that will basically take out the Soul Spire. But you can tell there is a ton of enemies that you need to fight in each wave. So it's pretty fun. And once you do that, so we've collected 8 Aethers so far, and that was round 1. So we have 2 enemies down here. The next wave will not spawn until you kill everything, and sometimes there's just a couple of nerds hanging out down at the bottom. So these 3 pillars are going to appear. The bursting mass. So masses deal unavoidable damage. Wave start, spawn an etheric mass. So you can do that. Aether fiends grant +1, but elite damage is +25%. So your boon is +1 ether. Your bane is elite damage +25%. Or the soul spires empower nearby enemies, but they also pull the foes inwards. So they keep them away from you, but they also empower them. So it's kind of a plus or minus. We are looking to farm more ether, so we are going to select this, and now we're beginning wave 2. As we go through here, same thing, we're just going to slay until the round is over. You're basically slaying monsters to draw out ether. The more ether you get, the more prizes you get, so on and so forth as you go through here. And sometimes my rogue just explodes everybody, and I love that for myself. Go through here, take care of these clerics. You do have 8 revives, so it's not like, and the revives don't take any bonuses or anything away from you. So here's the etheric masses. Basically looks just like a giant blob of brains or guts. Love that. Always grotesque looking things in Diablo, and the more grotesque, I mean, really, it wouldn't be Diablo without something grotesque, right? Avoid all explosions as we possibly can. All right, now we're up to 15 ether. Not too bad. Now we have draining spires, so we drain health, but we get +2 ether. We can have mass damage +25, so basically the same boon that we just put on, or unavoidable damage, but the wave starts with an etheric mass. And that basically means you can start getting the ether a little quicker. So we will go ahead and do mass damage +25%. So now if I hit tab, you can see elite damage is +25, etheric damage is +25, but our ether gains are +2. Anytime I can gain more ether, I will certainly do it. Go through here, slay everything. There's a mass up here, so I'm going to take out the mass. Do some mass effect. I have a couple of skills that have like bonus charges, and they really get me out of some situations here. So we can use those as much as we can, because there's a lot of explosions and there's a lot of things that can basically take me out. Like Franz Ferdinand said, take me out. There we go. That's a lot of fire. And there's one thing you can select in here that says either the spires or the masses will cast, like, you'll be slow. That one you want to avoid like the plague. It's awful. It is not like a tiny bit slow. It is like the slowest, most crippling movement you've ever had in a game, and it's awful. I do not recommend. 100% do not recommend. We have a fallen shaman down here who's just doing shaman things, and there's some of his mother's gifts. That is the seasonal thing that you're after. So Aether Lords now spawn. They grant +3 Ether. That's really nice. You can have Hellfire rain on you, which is always a lot of fun. Or we can do Drain Health. I like the Aether Lords, so let's go ahead and do that. If you feel like you're pretty confident in your builds, spawning these guys will get you a lot more Aether. So now we have masses and we have Aether Lords that are spawning. And we don't have one yet, so there's one right there. This is Draron, the Aether Lord. And they're pretty tanky, but they do provide a lot of seasonal currency, so I do like that. And they do provide Aether. So we're on wave 4 out of 6, and we have 35. Again, I was getting, in my first few runs, I was getting, you know, anywhere from 80 to 100. So right now we're kind of low compared to what I should be at. I just hit 40. And honestly, I would like to be around 60 or so right now. So we'll see if we can get a few more by the end of this round. Getting kind of low on health. Not my favorite. There we go. And we have one more enemy who's just down here being his lonely self. So now we have the Insatiable Spires. Soul Spires require 2x kills, but we get 2x Ether. That's kind of nice. Or we can do these, which is the Hellborns are now here. So we already have, go back here, you already have Aether Lords. We have more damage from the masses, more damage from here, but we're getting +5 Ether. So this is the wave right before the council. We'll do the 2x to get 2x. Why not? So it just means we have more stuff that we need to kill, and that's okay. No problemo. Killing more stuff, always a good time, right? That's what it's here for. So here's the Soul Spire. It's going to require 2 times the amount of kills to actually take care of the Spire. But it's going to grant us a lot more rewards. There we go. So now we're up to 48. The circling blades around you is really cool. I do enjoy that a lot. It really helps take out these little guys who are just like running around. And you don't want to directly target them because, you know, they're being annoying and they're fast and they're doing damage from you from kind of far away. So I can just scoot through them. And when I do that, and I have twisting blades on, so this right here, my dash, just lets me run right through them. And when I have twisting blades on, we can go ahead and basically those blades will circle around our head. The Stalking Devil, an infernal demon, has our scent. Okay, slay it to gain 25 Ether. Teeming masses, we can spawn Aether Lords on death, or masses deal unavoidable damage, but we start with one. I've never had an infernal demon has my scent, so let's do gain +25 and just see if we can take this out. Okay, never done this before. This is brand new for the video. Good timing, right? So we'll see how that goes. The Fell Council is laughing. The Fell Council is nothing to sneeze at. They're challenging in their own Oh no, it's the butcher. Get out of here. I want to wipe the floor with the butcher. No, get out of here. Die. Die, die, die. Die, die, die. Yes. I didn't know the butcher was going to be in here. That's epic. Let's go. Wow, what a great surprise. So the butcher can arrive in, I think any dungeon. Really, it's more like nightmare dungeons. But I have never had it in one of these Infernal Hordes. So that was pretty epic. And really, that was just an option I selected. It wasn't like it was... Now, if I see that again, I know it's not going to be a surprise. Like, the butcher is coming for sure, because I told it to spawn. In a nightmare dungeon, you will see the butcher spawn, and it is a complete surprise. You basically have no idea it's coming. All right, so we are up to 76. Not too bad for this run. And now, see, after round 6, you go through here. There's no more boons. There's no more surprises. There's no more things to pick. You are just in here, and now you have to kill the Fell Council. The Fell Council, if you played Diablo 2, you will quickly recognize we have basically the council from Travancore, which helped protect Mephisto, are in this game, and it's the same council. So even though you murdered them in Diablo 2, they are back. Just like every other character from Diablo 2, they are back. So they basically skipped Diablo 3 and said, you know what, we're not bringing any of that stuff back. Let's go to Diablo 2 and bring back the council. We'll bring back Mephisto. We'll bring back Duriel. We'll bring back Andariel. Like all the mini bosses from Diablo 2. They're called the Lesser Evils. And then this would be the Council, which is protecting Mephisto before you go kill him. So basically you have to kill 3 of these guys. And these at level 100 is going to be a lot of fun. So they spawn Hydras, just like they did in Diablo 2. Lots of fun. Surprise. So Chillhop is still one of the harder ones to kill. Usually it takes till the end to kill it. And here's where you pick up a ton of Aethers. So we got all the way up to 91. All right, so you have 3 choices when you finish one of these. You have Spoils of Gold. Exchange all your Aether for gold. So if you're really gold starved. If you need mats, you have 20. If you need equipment, it's 20. I'm pretty good on stash, but the great quality of life thing they did here, 2 things. So adding the stash here is incredible because if you get full, you can just dump your stuff. The other thing they did is, let's just say you're playing like Echo of Varshan or Andariel or something like that. You would have to reset the dungeon or exit or do something like that. Now you can just go put mats into the urn and play it again. So you just basically sit there and spam the boss all day long if you want to. That is one of the best quality of life upgrades I've seen for the 5th season, and I love it. So we have 91. I'm going to go ahead and get probably 3 equipment, and these are lower level because I'm doing the tier 3. So maybe we'll just do 2 equipment and 2 materials. Scattered prisms are good if you're adding sockets. I love that for myself. But sacred gear I don't need anymore because I am on... We are 1 level ahead. So we're starting to collect... Instead of sacred, we're getting ancestral gear, which has that little halo above it. So there you go. So we have spent all that we can. We have 11 embers left, so you have to spend all of it before you leave. If you don't, then that's kind of a waste. So there you go. That is everything there. We got days control. All right. So that's it. That's basically... that's the Infernal Hordes. It's really fun. You can spam this over and over as long as you have keys. The progression comes when you start getting into World Tier 4 and you can start upgrading these. And after that, it's really just kind of go as far as you can go and have fun. There's a ton of good gear that drops from these. Each level doesn't give you any gear, which is sad, so you have to wait till the end. So if you're doing lots of waves at a time, it's, you know, after 6 can take a little bit of time, but you do get some pretty good rewards. You can get multiple chests, and at world tier 4 there's a chest that spawns that takes 60 ether instead of 20, so 3x for that, and should be some good rewards there. So have fun this season, enjoy that. If you're running the pit, you can run the pit on top of this. Once you get past Nightmare Dungeon level 46, you can open up the pit. The pit is a fun way to do runs as well for gear. So I think combination of Infernal with the pit is a great in-game cycle for the season. And the season's a little bit short. You know, they're short. It's like 2 months. Not too bad. I think that's enough time to get to level 100, have a good time, get some gear, transfer that, and then start a new character. We do have the new expansion dropping in October. I think that's going to be on the 8th, and we'll have a new class to play. So looking forward to that, and we'll have some videos on that coming up. But for now, I am Sir Dead Knight, and thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next one.